So you're out in your community, prayer walking, and you've identified a group of people that you would like to do life with. Now what? I have these people around me. We kind of know each other. We see each other frequently. We maybe give them the nod as we walk by, or maybe a friendly hand wave. But how do I take this friendship a little bit deeper? And that is where Blessed Rhythms comes into play. Blessed Rhythms is an acronym. It stands for Begin with Prayer, Listen, Eat, Serve, and Story. And this is how we take steps deeper into relationship with people in our community. Rather than leading with evangelism, the goal here is to bless your neighbor, to bless the people in your community in those 5 ways. The first step, beginning with prayer. We've talked about prayer walks already. This is another easy step on the discipleship pathway to say, hey, can I pray for you? And more specifically, not just in general, but can I pray for you now? Showing that not only are we talking the talk about prayer, but we're walking the walk and praying for those specific things for our neighbors. The second letter is L, listening to the heart of the people who you are interacting with. We're, of course, starting with prayer and listening to what God is telling to us. And then we are, as we're entering into community, saying, how was your day? Taking a genuine interest. When we get to know some deeper and more meaningful things about people, following up and showing that we're listening by active listening or reflective listening and saying, hey, I remember this thing about you. I was listening when you spoke to me. And now I'm going to follow up and ask you about that thing. Eating is what the E stands for. And this is the common denominator across all people. We all got to eat. And sitting down for a meal is one of the easiest ways to continue to connect with someone. Because, like I said, we all got to eat. Even if you have nothing else in common, well, number one, you might want to start looking for a different community to be a part of. But you can always fall back on, hey, we're sitting here, we're eating, we both got to eat. Do you want to go get a meal? Do you want to go get a cup of coffee? Let's share a meal together. And conversation can naturally come up out of that. Food is a great catalyst for conversation. Then we get into the S's. The first S is serve. Serve is a big one for the church, and it's something that it's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Let's go feed the homeless. Let's go do a diaper drive. Let's go tutor some children. But serving in Blessed Rhythms is so much more than that. Not only is it, hey, I noticed that you needed a new cover for your textbook, so I got you one. It's more than just doing things for the people in your community, but also, here's the challenging bit, allowing them to serve you in return. And this is something that I struggled with at first because we've been taught over the years of church, the decades and decades of church, that we're supposed to be a light out to the community and we are serving them, right? Which is still true, but I think at some points we started to feel like we had the secret sauce, like we had cornered the market on serving others, when in reality, it's often viewed by the community as very pompous. So we don't want to come across as holier than thou and saying, yes, I'm going to serve you, all you peasants, and you will do nothing for me in return. No, this is our opportunity to say, hey, yeah, I'm just a person too. I'm just barely getting by. I know that my wife and I would not be getting through this season if it were not for our friends who have come together after the birth of our child to support us and really be our village. And so it's not just being a part of the village for others, but allowing others to be a village for you. And the last S of Blessed Rhythms is stories. And this is the interesting piece because as you grow deeper in relationship and have deeper conversations with people, you'll get to know their story a little better. And now here's our opportunity, not to evangelize, but to connect their story with God's story. To say, oh, I know that you're struggling with this. Jesus struggled with the same thing. We've been praying about this thing for you. I really had this Bible story come to mind that I think might benefit you based on where you're at in your story. And if all else fails, you can lean back on your own story, how your story connects with God's story. And so connecting those three pieces together and being able to say, hey, here's how God has worked in my life. I hope that he can do the same for you. And not shoving religion down anyone's throat, not shoving rules and regulations in their face and saying, here's what the Bible says you're doing wrong. But to say, hey, yeah, Jesus was a person and he struggled with the same things that we're struggling with. And here's how it's impacted my life. I hope that he can do the same for you. So this, in a nutshell, is Bless Rhythms. I hope that this has been a beneficial step for you down Discipleship Pathway, and I hope that you continue to tune in for more.